Hello everyone, welcome again in the conceptual problem session of mechanical vibration. Today we will solve this problem where we are having a rod having a pin joint at point a tip mass capital M connected with the two spring magnitude K and 2K, and we have to find the natural frequency of the system for two conditions. In the first case, the rod is massless. That means this rigid rod will be considered as massless and the mass component will be only this tip mass. In the second case, the mass rod is MR. That means we are having two masses and we have to write the equation of motion and then we have to find the natural frequency. So first let's understand that if the system will vibrate, how the motion will exhibit. So here I am showing that if the system will vibrate, the mass will move in the upward direction. So let's, for the given time instant t, the mass has moved by an amount of x, and because of this motion the rod has already rotated by an amount of theta. So in this given problem we can either use theta or x to write our equation of motion. That means these two are the generalized coordinate, and we can solve the problem either by using the energy approach or the Newton's law approach. So in the given problem we will apply both the methods so that you will have clarity that how can you solve a given problem either by using the Newton's law approach or the energy approach. So let's start with the case 1 where we are assuming that the rod is massless and only mass contained at the tip. So this is my rod which is having a mass m here, and there are two springs connected at a distance L by 2 and L by 4. So when it will have vibration, let that this is the displaced position with an amount of theta. As the mass will move, the spring will also have some compression and extension. So when we will make the free body diagram of this bar, there will be multiple forces. One force because of this spring, and let assume this force is defined by kx1. The second force that will be in the upward direction, and that magnitude let's decide as kx2. This is my pin joint, so there will be two reaction, but we are not going to use this reaction. And last one will be the, as the mass is moving in the downward direction, so inertia force will act on this mass, and the inertia force can be assumed as mx double dot. Now in this case we are assuming that this system is now considered as a static equilibrium condition, and we can apply the law of static equilibrium either by applying the force balance or the moment balance. So let's do the moment balance at this point A. So in my case I will have three forces, mx double dot multiplied by the distance L, because the total distance is L here, and as the force is acting in the upward direction its sense will be counterclockwise. So this will be counterclockwise. Second will be the kx1, and it is also working acting in the upward direction at a distance L by 2. So the second moment will be kx1 into L by 2, and the sense of this moment will also be counterclockwise. So let's assume that the counterclockwise is positive, so let's put positive sign here. The third moment will be kx2L by 4, and all the moments are acting in the counterclockwise sense. So ultimately my equation will become 0. When I will rearrange my term, as well as I will replace this x1 and x2. So now how we can replace this x1 and x2? So if I will consider the similar triangle, as I know that the displacement of this point is defined by the x. So here this displacement and this displacement can be converted in terms of x, and you can see here that as this is my similar triangle and I am interested to find the x1 and x2. So when I will consider the triangle ABC and ADE, so in this case I will get that x1 is equal to x by 2. Similarly, when I will consider ABC and AFG triangle, I will get my x2 is equal to x by 4. So when I will put this x1 and x2 in my equation will become mx double dot plus k L by 2 multiplied by x by 2 plus k into L by 4 multiplied by x by 4 is equal to 0. Sorry, this spring is of magnitude 2k, so we can put it as 2k. So it will be 2k here, And when I will rearrange my term, I will get my equation of motion. That will be what? That will be mx double dot plus k by 4 plus k by 8 x is equal to 0. And when I will compare this equation with my general simple harmonic motion equation, where I have x double dot plus omega natural square x is equal to 0, I will be able to get the natural frequency of my system, and that will be what? The natural frequency of my system will be under root the k value, that is my k equivalent value. So I can also write that my k equivalent is what? K by 4 plus k by 8, and that will be 3k by 8. So my 3k by 8 divided by m will be my natural frequency for the given system. The same problem can be solved using the energy approach. So let's see the energy approach to solve the same problem. In case of energy approach, what is our philosophy? We write the total energy of the system while the system is exhibiting dynamic motion, and we assume that the total energy will remain constant. So if I will differentiate my total energy with respect to time, it will give me zero value, and that is the base of writing the equation of motion for the given system. So in this case, if I will try to write the total energy, there are two components. One, energy because of the motion of this mass, that will be the kinetic energy of the mass. So one component will be the kinetic energy, and the second component will be the potential energy because of the compression in the spring. So the kinetic energy can be written as 1 by 2 mx dot square, and the potential energy will be 1 by 2 the k, this is your 2k and this is k, so k x1 square plus 1 by 2 k k2 x2 square, and that will be constant because this is my total energy. I know that x1 is equal to x by 2 and x2 is equal to x by 4. When I will replace x1 and x2 in this equation, my equation will become half mx dot square plus 1 by 2 k by 4. This x1 is half, so k by 4 x square plus this 1 by 2 and 2k, and this x2 is 4, so there will be a 16 x square, that will be constant. Now when I will do the differentiation with respect to time, my equation will become 1 by 2 m 2x dot x double dot plus 1 by 2, this k by 4 remain as it is, 2x x dot plus 1 by 2, and it will become k by 8, 2x x dot is equal to 0. So x dot will go away and half will also go away, so my final equation will become mx double dot plus this k by 4 x plus k by 8 x is equal to 0. So you can see here that both the equations are same. This was the equation of motion while I have used the Newton's approach, and now I am having the same expression I have used here. I have used the energy approach, but normally I energy approach to solve such problems. Then finally my expression will become mx double dot plus 3k by 8 x is equal to 0, and here also I can compare this and I can get the natural frequency, that will be 3k by 8 m. So this is the first part of your problem. When I will consider the mass of the rod, the problem will become little complicated, because in that case the rod is having mass mr, it is rotating about this point, this is the tip mass, and when there will be a vibration, there will be two force because of the two spring connected here. And if I am applying the energy approach, I will write the total energy as constant. The total energy will be combination of kinetic energy because of the inertia component in the system plus the potential energy because of the spring component in my system. So the deflection of the springs will remain same as we have calculated in the previous case. So the potential energy term will remain same as 1 by 2 k x1 square plus 1 by 2 2k x2 square. When I will see the kinetic energy part, one will be 1 a half m x dot square and the second will be 1 by 2 I theta dot square. And what is this I? I is the moment of inertia of my rod about point A. Please remember, in different book there are different approaches available, but what I generally follow, if I am having a member which is rotating about a point and I want to write the energy for that member, the general approach is that you write the half I omega square and consider the I about the point of rotation. Don't worry about the center of mass of the rod, where the mass is moving. Just consider that if the rod is rotating, for example I am having a system where there is a rod connected as a pin joint and there is a spring and the rod has mass m. If it is exhibiting vibration and this end is moving by an amount of x and I want to write the equation of motion for the system, so I will simply consider that half I, let this is point A, so it will become point A theta dot square. This would be my kinetic energy of the system. Otherwise what I can do, I can consider that this is my rod, this is the centroid of the rod where having the mass m. So now I have to consider two energy. One is the energy because of the translation of this mass, another one because of the rotation. But ultimately you will get the same expression, because when you will write the equation for this system, you are going to write 1 by 2 half IC theta dot square plus 1 by 2 m x dot square. When you will put this m value and IC value, finally you will get expression that will be equivalent to the moment of inertia about point A. So the general approach would be that whenever you are having a problem where you are rotating a rod and you want to write the equation for the kinetic energy of your system, simply consider half I theta dot square, where I will be moment of inertia about the point of rotation. So here it will be about point A, and we know that the moment of inertia of the rod about its centroid is ml square by 12, but we want to take it at point A, so we have to apply the parallel axis theorem, and that will be what, m, and we are shifting the axis from midpoint to the extreme left, so this L by 2 distance, so it will be L by 2 whole square. So this would be moment of inertia about point A. And when I will bring all the terms together and I will do the differentiation with respect to time, I will get the equation of motion of my system. So let's write the total energy. Your total energy will become 1 by 2 m x dot square plus 1 by 2 I theta dot square plus 1 by 2 k x1 square plus 1 by 2 2k x2 square. That would be a constant. So I have choice to replace x in terms of theta, or if you want to convert the theta in terms of x, both will be equivalent. So let's do again with the x term. So I have that the theta is equal to x by L. So theta dot will be what, x by L, x dot by L. So I can replace this theta dot here in my equation, will become 1 by 2 m x dot square plus 1 by 2 I by L square x dot square plus 1 by 2 k x1 square plus 1 by 2 k twice k x2 square. That is a constant. And when I will put x1 x2 in the equation and I will do differentiation, my final equation will become m x double dot plus I by L square x double dot plus 3k by 8 x is equal to 0. So here you can see that now this additional term will exist in your system, which is representing that the rod has some inertial component, and here your natural frequency will become what, 3k by 8 divided by this m, that is the tip mass, plus I by L square. And if you will replace the I, that is what we have calculated here, that this would be my I, and that will be what, m L square by 12 plus m L square by 4, and ultimately you will get m L square by 3. So either you can write equation in terms of I, or you can replace it. So your final expression will become 3k by 8 divided by m plus m squared by 3l square. So l square will cancel out and you will get 3k 3k by 8 m plus m by 3. So this would be the natural frequency of your system when you are having a rod of mass small m and a tip mass of value capital M, and there are two springs of magnitude k, and you have to find the equation of motion as well as the natural frequency of your system. So I hope that you have understood that how we will apply the energy approach as well as the Newton approach. But again, I will reiterate that I would prefer energy approach to solve such problems, and I believe that if you will follow the energy approach, there are least chance of making mistakes. So thank you for the day. Next time I will bring another conceptual problem of vibration. Thank you again.